Hello, Ivana. Welcome to Insta Show, and thank you for accepting our invitation. It's such an honor to get to know you and talk to you.
Well, it's an honor to be with you today, and I look forward to your questions and to being able to be a part of empowering the world through the arts.
I'm sure you will do that because you already do it, and you do such an amazing job.
Thank you.
I mean, we all see your job on television and Netflix and everywhere, but we don't know it's you. And now I'm so honored to be able to talk to you.
It's me.
Yeah. First of all, Happy New Year. I
Happy
know
New Year to you too, and hopefully it's going to be better than last year.
exactly.
It will be. It will be because you know why? We're on the upswing on all this.
True. While we are doing our research, I've heard an interview that you had last year where you were talking about the energy that we bring into the universe, and if we give out positive energy, then that's for sure the year is going to be amazing.
Well, it's not about positive energy because I think people misunderstand being positive because I always say take the things that make you screwed up, the things that make you fearful, your insecurities, your traumas, and use them to feel like they're your gifts as artists to play with and to paint on your canvas of being a performer, a writer, a director. It's actually a good thing. Positive, I'm not talking about positive, I'm talking about empowered
Empowered,
energy.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like if you there's the energy of not confidence, but the energy that I love who I am and all that other people may find as as not such a good thing. And artists, that's their best stuff. That's the stuff that makes them interesting, the stuff that makes them unique and special. And so the thing is, it's about being empowered and fueled by the things that make other people unhappy. We are fueled by those things, and that gives us satisfaction that we can explore the depths of human nature, our needs, and be able to change the world so other people who watch us or watch us on TV and theater and all that be able to feel the same way. That if the character on the screen is exploring empowerment and inspiration and motivation from the things that normally destroy people,
Hmm.
then maybe so can I have the hope that I can change my life too. And there's such an important energy to that thought process. Because that thought process transcends just being in the room with somebody. It's an energy resource, just like the resource of us talking right now
Hmm.
without cables. We're doing this through energy, through all the way, like, was it 7,000 miles away? So it's like we're very far away, and yet the energy resource of technology allows us to communicate from our heart and from our voice and from our visuals. Very fascinating, the world that we live in. But the point is that people don't take advantage of the fact that we have an energy resource that goes beyond technology that can connect us to the person that we love, that can connect us to the jobs that we want, that can connect us to a better life because we're energetically attracting, whether it's bad things, we energetically attract, or whether it's good things, we energetically attract.
Let's hope that this year will attract only the good things and forget about the bad things.
There we go. Not forget about it. We're not forgetting about them. We're using them. You can't forget about stuff. They fester. If you try to forget about bad things that happen, it becomes like emotional cancer. It festers inside your body until it finds a way to blow up by hurting somebody or hurting yourself or hurting somebody, the people that you love, and without intention. That's the whole issue of when you're playing a character that is evil, that's a rapist or a killer or an abusive spouse, you have to find how they're righteous, how they're solving something by doing this, how they're solving something that makes sense to their emotional survival and emotional well-being, that I need to energetically kill this other person in my head so that the voice isn't on my shoulder anymore, to be able to make decisions and life's choices that are destructive to me. So I have to kill energetically in my work as an actor, a writer, director, to solve the issues in my art so I don't have to do it in my real life and find myself hurting people that I don't want to hurt.
I think most serial killers should become actors. That way they can kill the energy and not the real people.
Exactly, and that would be nice in the real world if that was the case. But
Yeah.
the thing is, we're as artists, we have a whole nother universe. And our universe doesn't have geography, doesn't have boundaries. Our universe, we're all connected. So you connected to people in Asian countries, connected to South America, connected to India, Canada, whatever. Because bottom line, we're all human beings trying to struggle to get something that makes sense to the human equation, and so we are populated, our world, the artist world is small. Our globe is small because we don't think in terms of religious boundaries. We don't think in terms of geographical or cultural boundaries or political boundaries. What we think in terms of is the human need, how to solve the issues like love, power, not being in pain, not attracting painful, abusive people into our lives, um, having a roof over our head, having food to eat, having babies. These are basic primal needs, you know. And so
Exactly.
this is, this way our universe is small. The other people that aren't artists, their universe is huge and beyond. But our universe is small. And small and connected, we are a community. It's a very important community, and we have an obligation to give people hope through our work, to inspire people that they can have their dreams come true, whatever they are, through our art. And that's an incredible obligation and an incredible reality of the artists through the history of time.
True. Let's give a warm welcome to all our friends who's watching us. If you have
Mm-hmm.
any questions for Ivana, you can write them down in the comments, or you have a button with a question mark. You can type them there, and I will show them on our live feed. First of all, Ivana, I want to ask you, in your personal opinion, because you just talked about giving hope to people through the art. How can a person involved in the acting industry best survive this pandemic times?
I think we have to look at it as an opportunity to reflect because generally speaking, we always have the ability to escape, to leave, to do something else. But in the pandemic time, you're forced to kind of be in the same space and in quarantine, reality that you have. You're kind of forced to have to look at your stuff, and then try to figure out, as opposed to like just sitting in it, but just figure out like how to like really understand all the details of why you've come to this place in your life where you feel bad or, or upset or fearful or insecure about these things, and understand the base of it, understand how you can utilize that information as a character and doing script analysis on a character so you have a more full and satisfying journey playing that character. But you can't, most people are so busy running away, and when you're forced to have to not run away because you can't, because borders are stopped, you can't leave your home, and a lot of shutdowns, you're forced to have to like stay within a very short area of your home, and you can only go to certain stores. So you're left to be in your home, and facing and looking at the things that you always had the ability to run away from. So this is an opportunity to actually look at this stuff and to be able to understand it enough to be able to use it in your work, because there's so many characters that people just don't fully realize, because what they do is they see the surface of the character. They say this is a bad guy because he kills people, as opposed to looking at this person is his symbolic issues of why he needs to kill this character, why he needs to kill, is because he has been destroyed by this person. In his head, he's destroying the person's not life so much as the energy that allows them to be affected by them in a very self-destructive way. And so in order for us to truly understand great performance, we have to understand the character from a very dense, detailed, layered, and rich place that we can't, that normally we just don't understand people that well or understand ourselves that well, because we're too busy running, partying, drinking, doing drugs, whatever it is that people do, and not dealing with it. So the pandemic has helped us do that. Now, after the pandemic, which, the vaccines, we have so many vaccines now, so I think soon to be on the other side of, which I'm very excited about, we can take within the stuff that we've learned into the world. There's a lot of production that's up right now, into what we've learned from ourselves and add to our character script analysis. Make it a more interesting and powerful and profound performance because we're using what we've learned that we were kind of forced to learn through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And in normal days, we would say, today I'm going to read this book, and it's like in normal times you go, well, that book never got read. Okay, so in these times, it's like you're kind of forced to have to deal with the things that you want to do, you put off to do, because you have no choice. And so that's the good news about the pandemic, and artists always have to think in terms of pain and darkness is our colors for us to be able to play with. That's our colors for our canvas. And we need a lot of colors to make a beautiful picture.
It's funny I really agree with what you said, because during the pandemic, I also discovered a lot of sides of myself, which I always wanted not to hide, but I wasn't focusing on them because I thought they were not important. And now I feel like I will go out of this crisis situation, I think, even a better person. And it's great that we had this time to reflect on ourselves and to get to know our interior even better.
Well, tell me this. What do you think is your biggest revelation in the pandemic time? Because everybody has the most important revelation. So what do you think was your most important revelation?
My most important, I think that I knew I was patient, but I didn't know the extent of my patience. And I also find out that I really don't need that many things in life to be happy or to be able to enjoy myself in a certain moment. Because I realized that when I had free time, now I have a lot of free time, I used to try and squeeze everything that I like into that little small window of time. And I wasn't enjoying them, actually. I was forcing them. And I found out this about myself. And I can't wait to be able to be busy again and try and see how do I manage myself doing all those things.
Here's the thing. I think that one of the things that you were saying, and what I'm feeding off of you, is that you spent a lot of time trying to please other people, and you realized in the pandemic that you only needed to please yourself because you're never going to please everybody else. They're too busy worrying about themselves, so they're not even seeing your attempts. So you realize that your attempts to please people, to make them like you or to give you a job or whatever, wasn't working. And so you found through this pandemic that you're actually a pretty interesting person and you can talk about yourself. And that that to me is a very important aha moment. It's an epiphany. So this way you walk into, when you are able to deal with people again and be busy again, you're coming from a place of your own empowerment, so people want to be around you. People don't want to be around people pleasers. People avoid it. They don't want to cast it. They don't want to be around it. And as much as they like you as a human being, it's not compelling. It doesn't make me want to spend time with them. But if you walk with the empowerment that I do, that I don't need you, but I enjoy being around you.
Yeah.
Because I need myself. I like myself, and I like the things that I do when I'm alone. So if you want to come along for the ride, cool. And people want to come along for the ride because those kinds of people are few. Most people please, and that doesn't work for anything. I always tell people, like in terms of the casting situation, if you need to make them book the job, and you're trying to please what's on the paper, and you're trying to please what's on the script is saying they want you to cry in this moment. You're trying to cry in this moment as opposed to being authentic to your journey, putting that into personalization into the script. That they, in the same way that people don't like being around needy people in real life for free, why would they pay you to do something they don't even want to have for free? So the thing is, if you're coming in with that empowerment that of not self love, because that's not the right word, but like owning and embracing and seeing it as a medal of honor, the things that make you screwed up, your insecurities, your depth of fear, and all the the traumas and things that you've existed in, that makes you a pretty terrific, amazing person. And so so that is attractive to people. They want to cast it again and again and again. And then if you get the part, then if it's a small part, they want to make it bigger because they like having you around and the audience's reactions. Like, I can't wait till this person's on the screen. All of a sudden, your small part, all of a sudden becomes a big part, and then becomes one of the regulars. With my people, often times will have a small role, and the next thing you know, they become one of the regulars on the show because they've done the work of like the power of the actors, what the book is called, being empowered by the most of humanity take the easy way out. It's a path of least resistance, is to just be defeated. And so so your big aha moment during this pandemic is wonderful, because now you're probably going to book more jobs.
I hope so. But my day-to-day job is I do marketing and business consulting. So that's why I always have to be around people and try to please their expectations. So I
But
realize
no,
that
but
like,
marketing, what you do is you help them understand what they like or don't like.
yeah,
It's like what you're doing it's symbiotic. It's like the idea of like, are you responding to that? Then let's up that part of it, in terms, I find yourself kind pulling away from that aspect of the advertising. I'm going, or the movie or whatever it is you're marketing or the product, and then I'm going to negate that part or that color or that statement or those words, because like all those things, it's a symbiotic thing. We do this together. Marketing is not, I have to please this customer because the customer doesn't know what they want.
exactly. You don't know what they
They
want.
only know what they see that appeals to them, right? And
Let's
then,
talk
so
about yourself.
what'd you say?
I was like, let's talk about yourself because this is about you. Thank you.
No, my job is to make it you. That's what I do. So if I always find that, like, I think a great teacher is selfless. It's about teaching others and not trying to be a guru. I do everything I can to have people see me. I think you'd be more educated if you're not looking up and you're not putting all your energy into worshiping somebody. So I try to negate the worship aspect. I am not a guru. I am somebody who can pass along information, and we learn together as equals. Very important to me that we're equal. So when I bring up this stuff about you, it's because other people are learning about our exchange. You go, oh yeah, well, it's like I come in trying to please them, but the other person, they have to say you're trying to have a guy or a girl, be attracted to you. It's like you can't try to please what you think they want. You have to like feel them, each other. It's a symbiotic reality. It's like you look like, let's just talk about sex for a moment. So it's like someone, if you touch somebody in a certain way and they go, don't keep doing it.
Yeah.
And if you touch them in a certain way and they go, then you go like, let's keep doing that. And then you're doing something else and it's like, and they're really responding to it, let's do more of that. or you're doing that, you moved your hand or something to do something else, and they're going, oh. Then you stop doing that, go back to the thing that was working. That's the same thing as any conversation. Anytime that when you are acting, it's about give and take. Um, I I give to my students. I get back
Mm-hmm.
that and more. You know, so I when I'm talking to you about your life, that's what I do when I work with people, and then I gain knowledge because I realize that I oftentimes need to please people, and I realize you can't please people. All you can do is understand what pleases you yourself. You
Is it
know,
what is it that you like about coaching actors, and what are the most challenging things that you do in these jobs?
um, what I love about coaching is I work with actors, writers, and directors, is
Mm-hmm.
that I like the fact that I'm empowering people with their pain, and it comes back at me. So it's like I'm empowering you to empower me, because I
Mm-hmm.
come from a very abusive upbringing by a mentally ill mother who didn't understand, and she didn't understand that what she was doing was abusive because she was very mentally ill, and but she was extremely violent in terms of verbal and physical. And also, she was a hoarder. I don't know what a hoarder is, but we lived with cockroaches and vermin and stuff, and things piled up to the sky. And it was always kind of like, it was gross, and we could never have people over to the house, so I didn't have friends. And so I'm empowering other people to help me also to understand that character, to help them understand the character from their life, also helps me understand the characters from my life, that I understand better about my relationship with my mother. I understand better about my relationship with my husband. I understand better my relationship with my daughter and with my siblings. Because some of the things where I feel abused, or when I feel attacked, or when I feel misunderstood, I go, there's a character like this that we're dealing with right now. And I go, this also feels that way. And why do they feel that way? Or, you know, so why does the other person, you're playing the abuser, why does that person feel they need to abuse? And then I start to understand the dynamics of what makes people do things when they don't think what they're doing is bad. You never play a character when you judge it.
Yeah.
Artists don't judge. It's really important that you don't make judgment calls, because that's for the normal people of the world. It's like anything goes as an artist. The sky doesn't have to be blue when you're a painter. It could be plaid. It could be pink with purple polka dots. It's how you visualize it. Think of Picasso. Picasso, does it, anything that Picasso, does it look like a real person? No, it's his visual. It's going through the lens of Picasso's issues. And so that's what makes great art.
Do you think that actors, directors, screenplayers, do you think that they should have a certain set of skills and they should transmit the message in order to become a life model or for themselves or an inspiration
No,
for the others?
no, I don't think that's our job is to explore the depths of humanity from a point of what I teach within the about behavioral science, the science of psychology, and the science of cultural anthropology, basically being a human being. So the idea is what our job is as in this world is to explore the human equation, to be able to look at what makes people do what they do. And it's fascinating, and that's entertaining, and it also makes people relate. What makes people want to watch a TV show or movie or play is because they go, oh, that's me on the stage, and they're relating to it. So you have to make it relatable by taking the bottom line human equation, because people are people are people are people. I've done workshops all over the world, and there's nothing. I've never found that there was anything different in terms of their needs, their needs as human beings, and their needs in terms of relationships with other people, whether it's in a workplace or whether it's in a social environment.
Mhm.
People's insecurities, their needs, their issues, their are all the same. And it's like it's that's why our world is small. And then when you start putting in the world of politics or religion or geography, it's like it changes, it expands it to a place that's untenable. You can't, people can't deal with it. So it just becomes, you don't belong in my world because they can't deal with the largeness of other people's opinions. When the artist, we have a community that spreads around because we're not, it's small enough for us to contain and um, makes us feel that we are not alone. We're not alone. We're all together in this, and that's the most wonderful feeling of all, to feel like you over there in Romania, I'm not alone. You're here, and it's like, and other people that are watching, you guys are here. Or wherever you're from, you're here. You're a part of my life by being here right now, and I am part of yours, and we have created this created this unity that we all live within the same metaphoric household.
Mm-hmm.
We're
So
all in
true.
quarantine. We're all in quarantine together, people. In our hearts, in our hearts. So consider this metaphoric quarantine in our hearts.
Through your school, Ivana, you coach amazing people throughout time, and many renowned artists in the from the industry. And I want to ask you, what makes the school so unique and appealing, apart from the fame gained through time and hard work?
Well, I think what we're trying at my school, what it does is it allows people to find a very practical way. It's 12 steps, a practical way to really do script analysis. And we also dig deep. We get into what makes a person want to win,
Mhm.
not just what makes a person be truthful and real. It's a much more interesting journey for us as well as the audience to go from a win lose, create a sporting event kind of vibe. It's like the issue is that in the history of time, there has been proof that there's been sports and games being played even by Neanderthal man. There's proof of that. Before man became upright, it was playing sports and games, and when the theater got started, which was 2,000 years ago in Greece. And so it's like we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of years of people having that need to win. It's primal. And theater, it can be real, but it's not going to take you to my school of thought. The philosophy is take your pain and use it to overcome and win with. Use it to overcome and win. Because then we're doing something that affects people all over the world and in the history of time, because it is our primal instinct to want to win, and it also makes us root for you. We want to create a rooting section in our audience because, like, I always want to see so and so as an actor, or so and so's writer, or so and so's directing, because it always makes me feel good. I feel like I'm there and I'm invested, and I need to win with that person. It's like we do when we support a soccer game. You know, it's like the same kind of feeling. It's like I need to support that. And you know how like a sport game could go on for hours, and we don't think about it, and we
Yeah.
think that it could go. It seems like seconds. When we're putting the win lose situation in a movie or play or whatever we're working on as an actor, writer, or director, the time goes by really fast if you're trying to win. If you're just being truthful, it sits there and it doesn't entertain. It doesn't move you forward. Um, I like to use the example of paint drying. I just painted my wall blue, and I'm watching it dry. Now it does change color when wet paint goes to dry, but do I want to watch it for 2 hours? It's truthful. It's honest. It's really happening in real time, but I don't need to see that. So here's another example that I give, which is about the winning. I've been really needing to up the stakes and really trying to overcome and win with. It's like you got two scenarios that they both have the same objective. I need to get across the street. So first scenario is it's a sunny day. There's no traffic. I have all the time in the world to get across the street. Okay, now it has scenario two. Scenario two is it's dark at night. There's it's sleeting. It's not snow. It's that ice cold, like slippery rain that's coming. It's like almost snow, but it's rain and it's pelting down like in hail and storm. And there's big trucks going super like 100 kilometers an hour. There's a boom, 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 boom. And then your sister's across the street and they say, if you don't get there in 10 seconds, you'll die. Now, which one do you want to see?
Well, I do
Oh,
want to see the
duh,
second one.
right. That was a rhetorical question, right? So the thing is, like, the first one is you still have an objective. It's still honest. I still have to get there, but there's nothing you need to win. There's nothing you need to overcome. But
Yeah.
you have to overcome so much in the second scenario, and that's what we have to bring into our work. So what makes my school so special is I teach you how to do that. I teach you, and my teachers and people who are accredited, because I have accredited teachers all over the world, um, is that I teach you how to take what's truthful and honest and make it be more so important and so dire that we have to, and so many obstacles getting in your way that you have to do so much to overcome and win that if you don't, there'll be times if you fail that you can die or your loved one will die. And so the thing is, it becomes like something that's exciting to play and exciting to do, exciting to for your coaster and exciting for your audience. So we're building up something that makes it a more fun experience. I always say, if you're not having fun, you've made the wrong choices. You should be having fun, even in the darkest places. You should always be enjoying yourself.
About what you just said, I was picturing in my mind, I was rewatching the whole thing, The Queen's Gambit. It's basically,
That's such a
yeah,
great example. And why it's a great example is because chess could be the most boring game to watch.
exactly.
But they made it so it was sexy and it was deep and it was important. She had to win.
Always had to
And
do
she,
something more.
yeah. But it was sexy too. Can you imagine a game of chess being sexy? But it was. And so, you know, I love that show. I use that as an example all the time of a show that uses my technique,
Mm.
in terms of bringing in something that's truthful and honest, but making it be about dire circumstances that you need to win. You need to win.
Talking about techniques, what do you think is the most innovative coach acting technique related to the era we encounter as ourselves now? Because everything changes so fast, especially in the industry. You always have to be on trend. Do you think?
Well, you don't. Acting isn't about trend. It's about, like, let's go back to science.
Okay.
Science, it's like math. Like when you go to math class and when you go to learn subtraction and addition, multiplication tables when you're 6, right? It's like that doesn't change. It's still the same thing. So the thing is that what you have to do when you start getting to calculus and you start getting to equations that create scientific discoveries, then you kind of, but it's the base. The bottom line is the base. The base is 2 plus 2 is 4.
Mhm.
4 minus 2 is 2. It's like the basis is still the same. And so even though you may be coming up with new equations that create new scientific discoveries, it's still the same base of math. And so we have to use the same. We're not trending. That's people pleasing. You follow a trend, you're people pleasing. You say, "What's the trend? How should I dress? How should I wear my hair? How should I act?" But that's a people pleasing thought process. Actors are leaders. We lead, and so what we want to do is make choices based on the science of behavior. We want to make choices from the science of psychology and the history of culture, which is anthropology. So we want to make choices based on that, personalize them so that something unique and special comes out of it, that because it's coming from the lens of the specialness of your life experience, because there's only one you on the planet that's I have 7 brothers and sisters, and we all are different, but we all have the same parents, we all live in the same place, so why are we all so very different? Why are we all so different dreams, different ways we do things, different ways we take in information? Because we have other experiences outside of that make us who we are and very unique and special from peers, from how these peers respond to us, from our family and how they respond to us off of what we're bringing home from our peers and so there's all these things that make us special. So if we're trying to find trends that we're going to follow, you won't work. You will never be a star. You will never be internationally acknowledged. You will never get those awards that you want to get because you're trying to, I call it paper pleasing, because we're trying to please the script on the page, and so that's a piece of paper. We're trying to paper please, and so as opposed to finding the dynamic that makes it special and unique. So no more people pleasing stuff, okay? All of you out there, just like that's the kind of thing that we want to do. Is like just bring in who you are, and all the worst of you and the best of you, and you're going to bring in something special, unique that people will want to see.
Do you think that, because you just said that an actor needs to, it's a leader, which is such a huge responsibility. Do you think
Yeah.
that an actor should try everything regarding acting? And I mean like theater, stage acting, a movie, musicals, in order to have success and broaden his or her experience, or that he should step from to a certain typos of acting?
I don't think you need to do anything. I think you need to do what makes you, what pleases you. If you want to do musical theater and that's what you like, or you want to do all of it. I work with Shia LaBeouf, and he likes to play around with this and that. And he wants to put his hand in everything. And then he determines whether he likes it or not. He continues doing it. So it's like the almost all like the real the actors that and love and respect as actors. They don't just like rely on one venue. They may end up painting or writing poetry, or it's like it doesn't have to necessarily stay within the acting arts. If they're just exploring the arts, whatever pleases them, whatever makes them happy. And I think what you have to do is please yourself. Try. I have a friend who there's probably the only person I really kept in touch with from high school, and he was a very very talented musician. He actually worked with Dizzy Gillespie on the road. He went to Berklee School of Music, which is really hard to get into unless you're super talented. But he decided he wasn't happy doing that. So what he did was he went back to school and took a bunch of classes at the university. When he was about 30 years old, he went back to university and he just said, I'm just going to take all these different classes and see what I like. And so he took all of it, from art history to math to literature to just like every kind of course in math. And so he found that he really liked math. And so then he said, let's go further into this. Well, let's fast forward to, he's a very important nuclear physicist. He has inventions. He travels around the world and speaks to physicists around the world, very respected, and loves it. Loves it. So you do what you love, And the thing is that on weekends, sometimes he plays at weddings. Just keeping it real, or he'll play at home for himself. But it's like he found what he loved by trying different things. So just like you're not supposed to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to do is figure out what you want, and then explore that. And then you may find midway you didn't really want that, and maybe you want this instead. But life is all about discovery and exploration.
Do you think that you have learned something from the artists you have worked with throughout time?
All the time, every day. Every time I work with somebody, there's another aha moment. There's another light bulb over my head. Every single time I have a class, I learn something. I'm always learning. If a teacher stops learning, they should stop teaching.
Stop teaching. I like that. What's the one bit of advice you could give actors around the world?
Education. You need to study. I don't care if you went to drama school. It's not, would you go to a doctor that stopped learning about medicine? If you just went to medical school and then stopped learning, it's like it's a never-ending process. There's always something more to learn. So keep studying. It doesn't have to be my school or my schools of thought around the world. It's just study. Just study. Be well. Education is so key in success and also your own self satisfaction that you worked hard to get where you got to, as opposed to being a lucky moment. And you don't want luck. You want to be able to say that on your deathbed, I earned everything I got. The other advice that I have for people is to take risks. It's like, it's scary to be fearless. It's scary to be fearless. And so I need everybody to understand that they need to like take risks, and the choices they make as actors, writers, or directors, dig deep into the scary places and explore that and put that on the screen in whatever venue that you come into it as, or put it on the stage. But like explore the scariest stuff, you know. So it's that stuff is the stuff that also makes the difference between the men and the boys. People want to see people who make bold choices. People want to see people who take risks. It is exciting. And because most people are too scared to take risks. And so if you do that, and the material that you choose and the inner choices that you make, and if you read my book, it explains, like, you know, how it's those choices that will really make for a more profound, exciting, and forward motion journey. And so the thing is, there's the two elements: work hard on your craft. That means education. That means study, 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 study. And as actors, you can't study at home. You have to study in a school.
Yes.
You know, it's just the only way. It's one of those things you can't learn out of, you know, the book. Well, you can't learn at home, but the thing is, you can read my book. But the thing is, the book it does. It's such a practical way to work that it will help, definitely. And I've had emails from all over the world telling me the book has helped raise their career, not only in getting better jobs, but getting awards that they weren't getting before. But it also, if you take that information from the book and study, then it's going to be exponential. It will triple and quadruple the reality of what you're going to get out of it. And take risks. Don't play it safe. Don't play it safe. You play it safe, you're just a normal person, and everybody plays it safe.
Yeah.
They don't need to pay money to see you. Or with all the venues that we have, from streaming and computer to television to movies. There's so many venues, and it's like a million channels. How many? Like the 600 channels, you know. So there's so many channels that that we are going to pick the thing that we want to watch. We're not limited, and so you got to give people to watch what you're on a reason to pick you, or not turn a channel when they picked you and they go, I'm not really interested to continue on. And you have to like make it about winning. You have to make it about taking chances. You have to be really up to skill set, and you have to like have the ability to be able to bring it. And you can't just do that by talent. Talent only goes so far. Talent has to be honed. It has to be nurtured. It doesn't just exist.
I've heard so many, because on Insta show we talked with a lot of actors from Romania, from all over the world, and everybody was asking a question: do you need talent or hard work to be an actor? And everybody was like, once you get into acting school, with how much talent you got in, with the same talent you get out, you just get a new education. You just learn how to put your talent out in the world.
How to utilize it, how to take.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will have the talent, but they say, like, I don't know how to get to this place. It's like, well, if you get educated and you learn how to do it, you can get there in seconds. But otherwise, it's like the issue is, it's like the talent may get you there on occasions, but it's not going to get you there consistently. Education will get you there consistently, and you have control over it. I always say we're taking the God aspect out of it. Actors often say, please God, please make me good tonight. And
Yeah.
so it's like, it takes out that the prayer will be unnecessary. All you do is your work, and you won't need to ask the gods that you're going to be good today. You know, so if you do your work and you have to learn how to do the work, and that's education, then your talent is allowed to be explored under your control.
Talking about control, how do you take 2020? Uh, what is next for you in 2020? What projects?
In 2021, you mean?
You
Okay, so
2021, yeah, sorry.
that's like, oh, the next day in 2020.
Yeah,
Um,
2021.
we're in 2021.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
always in the first month of 20 of the new year. I always remain in the last year. So, but I think I'm not the only one.
well, here's the thing. I don't ever want to think about 2020 ever again. So I'm just going to like say
Yeah, big promise.
that's
It's a good
over.
deal.
Thank God. Phew. Okay, so what's next for me? I'm keeping it fluid because until I get the vaccine, I have all these people that want me to come to their country, but I don't feel safe, and I don't think they will want anybody to room together until everybody, or at least there's enough people vaccinated that we're back to feeling safe in terms of not catching this disease. And and I think it's around the corner. But as soon as that happens, I can because I have all these. I want to travel the world again, like I always have before. I have my school here. I have my Zoom classes with overseas people. I also have, and I also have, what do you call it, workshops, schools all over the world where I can teach everywhere. I mean, there's so many places. And so I want to go back and visit my friends. And they're not just my students, they're my friends. And I miss them. And there's people, so my plan is as soon as I get vaccinated, I'm going to set up the plan. I already have some in the works, like Brazil at the end of April, Copenhagen, end of May. But this is all going to depend on, again, the vaccination. I have Munich coming up,
It's
probably
Vienna on
Russia.
your list.
What?
It's Vienna on your list.
Vienna is close to Munich, so they're going to have to cover Munich. Vienna is on the list of people. I have someone who's teaching out of Austria, and so she wants me to come. She and her and some other people that she knows from Austria want me to come to Austria. So definitely, it's on the list of things. It's on the list of things that are coming up. But definitely Munich because we've already set some dates on that. And then Tokyo, they're waiting for the vaccine. There's like a lot of places that are waiting for the vaccine to. I kind of set that in stone because I don't want to get sick. Also, my husband has pre-existing conditions. I don't want him to die. I don't want to bring home the illness, and also there's no reason why it can't kill me too. So I'm of age. I'm old, and so so I want to be careful. But I also think it's smart to be careful in any case.
I like to say that we don't get older, we get wiser.
No, I don't know.
Sometimes, not always.
Sometimes. Not everybody gets wiser. Some people get more opinionated and caught in their ways. And so an artist keeps growing and changing. A lot of humanity, what they do is they get defeated and then they get bitter. And so one of the things that the beauty of being an artist is that there's always more. So in terms of you asking me what's next, it's like honestly, I always I put something in front of you that I want to accomplish, and then I accomplish that, and then I raise the bar to something else, and then when I accomplish that, then I raise the bar. So it's like never over, and I figure that it's always going to be that way until I die, and even then, I'm going to try to figure out how to keep going. So it's like I determined, say, about 3-4 years ago, I wanted more translations of my book, and now lo and behold, I have something like 18. So it's like I keep and bringing in more. I want more people. I want my legacy to be the philosophy of my technique, which is take pain and use it to overcome and win with. So we're taking our pain and insecurities and fears and and winning and getting what we want in spite of and because of those issues. And that's what I want to leave behind for the planet. So I want the artists of the world to know that we have that, to be able to take the things that have happened to us that normally make people self-destruct and actually construct with it and make other people feel they can do the same within their lives as people and as artists, and to share with the world, because more people watch television and movies than go to church, than go to political rallies, than do religious things. It's like it's the most important pulpit that we have. People watch and subliminally take in that information.
My last question for you, Ivana, is, because we only have 7 minutes more left until Instagram shuts us.
What?
Yes.
I know. This is good. This has been a rousing conversation. Thank you. You're good.
Thank
You're
you.
also
You are amazing.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
We both are.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the message that Ivana Chubbuck from the present wants to share with Ivana from the future?
To the future.
Yeah, usually people ask to the past, but we want to know.
Yeah, I know. I got a little left turn on that. Okay, so what do I want to tell my future
That's
self?
our technique.
Okay, so I'd like to tell my future self um, that you changed a lot of people's lives. Feel good about that. That no matter what happens to you personally, it doesn't really matter, because you've actually changed a lot of people's lives and made them empowered, feel good about themselves, and feel that they can accomplish anything. That's what I'd like to tell my future self.
That's nice. I've always said that I ask this question to all of our guests here on InstaShow, because in the future I want to do a small video, and send them to everybody and say, listen, this is what you told yourself for the future. Did you do it?
Yeah, I think that's really cool. That's a really cool idea. So, yeah, you just clip out the things that they said,
Yeah,
and then just say
and
that.
send them over.
Well, that's a cool idea. So, how much in the future are you talking about? Like, be alive?
1 or 2 years.
Be alive to answer this question?
1 or 2 years time. Thank you so much, Ivana, for being with me and everybody who's joined us today on our live. And especially for you who's here and watching Ivana, if you want to learn more about her technique, or maybe want to go into one of her workshops, you can visit the website, ivanachubbuck.com. And also you can find on the website all the accredited, I think they are teachers, master teachers.
Yeah, exactly. There's
All around
competition
the
all over
world.
the world, so that you'll find on the website their names and how to contact them.
So if you want to know more and learn more about Ivana and her technique, please go to the website. I will also go and visit it and see what I can learn even more, because you are amazing and you're doing such a great job.
Well, well, here's the thing. You ask really good questions, and you're very personable, and you're very charismatic. So thank you for creating like an experience that seemed like it went by like this.
Like that.
Yeah, that's right. Am I right?
Yeah, it went so quickly. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you, and I look forward to exploring this again with you in the future.
In 1 or 2 years, I will send you the final question, and we'll see what happens.
All righty.
So much, Ivana.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Ivana, once again for being here on Insta Show today. It was lovely getting to know you and listen to you. You have such an amazing career and such great advice. Thank you, everybody who joined us for this very special live. You can see it on our Daily Magazine page, saved and posted very soon. If you want to rewatch it, share it with your friends and rewatch it because it was amazing. Let's be honest. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time here on Insta Show with also other amazing guests. Have a great evening, night, or day, or morning, wherever you are in this world. And as Ivana said, we are all together in this situation, so we will get through it happily. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.